Hey guys, wanted to bring you another video of a football's life of Terrell Davis, TD. So, wanted to bring up what was kind of interesting and highlight the stuff that I took notes on. The Mile High Salute is to the military. So, just for the record, if everybody didn't know what this was, where he celebrated every touchdown he had, he would salute as his celebration for scoring. As a reminder, he was a 6th round draft pick, so pretty late out there. And I'll explain why, just in case people didn't remember why he dropped so far and what was the rep. He didn't play much with Georgia, and I'll bring that back. He had a history of migraine headaches and blurred vision throughout his football career and life. Their run to the playoffs, he ran 25 plus times and would win that way. So they were undefeated during that that Super Bowl 32 run to the Packers when he ran 25 plus times, because the year before that he only ran 14 times against Jacksonville and they were bounced out, even though they had a great record at 13-3. And Mike Shanahan vowed that the next following year they're going to run him 25 plus times and see how that works for them, which worked perfect. Let's see, their Super Bowl game against the Packers, if people didn't remember, in the first half he missed most of the first half because of migraines, and then the second half he took over and carried the Broncos to their victory against the Packers. Now, when he was younger, he thought about suicide because how bad the migraines were, and they were very painful according to him. He would lose his vision. He just couldn't take it sometimes. His childhood was interesting with his dad. He wasn't afraid of his dad according to him, but he did some odd things on his parenting methods that he thought was normal for him and his brother. One example that stood out for him, and it kind of stood out, he would sit all the kids and take out his gun and shoot against the wall. So, but that was his way of parenting, and which was really odd for someone to do that. And I guess Terrell Davis wasn't afraid even at that time. At the age of 15, Terrell Davis' dad actually died at the age of 15, and he started falling apart. He couldn't function. He pretty much quit football. He didn't do well in school. Then one night he was out until like 2 or 3 a.m. and had a shotgun barrel pointing at him, and he realized he needed to change and that he needed to actually be able to function. So the only thing is that he thought, okay, well, my change, I gotta get away from this. I gotta pretty much need to be able to function in this way. And so he didn't want this type of lifestyle like his dad, and so he got back into football. He played for Long Beach State because he only had 3 offers, and thought this was since his brother's already there, he thought that would help him. So after Long Beach State dropped their program, Terrell Davis got a call from Georgia from one of their scouts, and Georgia couldn't give them a full ride scholarship. So they said, come out to Georgia, bring your tape, and if we like it, we'll sign you. They liked what they saw, and they signed him. And things were not always peachy. Garrison Hurst was in front of him for a while, and then he took over, and he did not get along with the head coach because the head coach was almost like a dictator in that sense, because everything was really strict. It was his way or the highway type of deal, and was always bad mouthing him, like commenting him like, oh, he doesn't even play hurt, he doesn't even try, he doesn't work out, he doesn't practice hard enough, and stuff like that. So that dropped his stock on his draft status. But the Denver Broncos had Gary Kubiak and had some inside information from one of the staff from Georgia that he knew, and said, yeah, he's not a bad kid or anything like that, and took a gamble in the 6th round that way. Once he got there, second preseason of the game, because there was actually 5 running backs ahead of Terrell Davis, and he thought, oh man, I just got drafted in the 6th round, I'm going to be just on the practice squad. So he was thinking about leaving when he was in Tokyo, because the first preseason game, he didn't even sniff an ounce to get on the field. So he said he couldn't get out because of the language barrier. And so that was kind of a blessing in disguise, because if he was able to leave, he would probably not got his opportunity, because he was called to get in the game in the second half in the special teams. And he just previously ate a big hot dog, according to him, and he made a big tackle on the special teams, and everybody on the Broncos sideline was very excited for him. So they saw that opportunity, like, oh wow, this guy made a big play, let's see what else he could do at his natural position. And he wasn't expecting to play, so he started feeling sick, and he actually threw up, just letting everybody know. If you got an opportunity, take it. Even though there's no hope, you gotta keep doing the repetition. Gotta go through the motion and keep your head in the game. He had a good preseason throughout that, and he was promoted to starter in this case. And according to Gary Kubiak and other people on the staff, they used that videotape to show anyone that was drafted late in the rounds that you could make it still and make an impact if you do what you're supposed to do and keep working at it. He was one of the few halfbacks to reach 2,000 yards. His injury against the Jets in his right knee was never the same, so he eventually had to retire. He just did not look the same after that. In 2002, he retired. One of the questions I want to produce and ask to you guys, was he a product of the system or a special player? And because the reason why, there was a lot of players after him, and when he was injured, that had 1,000 yards plus. And the second question is he a Hall of Famer? So to answer the first question, I kind of see, like, if you have a special player already in a system, you're going to get great results. If you have an average player in the system, you're going to still get the results, but you're not going to get someone like Terrell Davis numbers, like 2,000 yards. So even though some of those backs had 1,000 yards, he could have probably had 1,500 or 2,000 yards easily. And do I think he's a Hall of Famer? Yes, because if you could get Gale Sayers in there, then he belongs in there because of that. Gale Sayers made it, and he had a short career, same like Terrell Davis, but the difference is Terrell Davis showed up in the big games in the playoffs, and he had 2 Super Bowl rings to show for it. Thank you for this video that everybody watch. Go ahead and like, share, subscribe, and to support this. Thank you.